One of the biggest stories this year in the Parkland in sports has been the Farmington Knights basketball team, and it's been a tremendous week for this guy's squad. We have Garrett Callahan, head coach of the Farmington Knights. You pick up a victory over the number one team in your class, Sikeston. You get win over rival North County, win over rival Central. I mean, that's a big week for the Knights, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and we knew it was going to be a tough week. 3 games in 1 week, no matter who you're playing, is always tough. And going against Sikeston, we thought we could have a chance to play with them. It depended if we hit shots or not, and we definitely hit some shots and pulled it off. So that was a nice win. And then our responses to the next 2 games with North County and Central were great. So we got good conference wins there and started our conference season off to a strong start.
Yeah, now 13-1 on the season.
Mm-hmm.
This season as a whole, going into it, did you feel like this squad had the chance to get off to this good of a start?
Yeah, we thought we had a chance. Our schedule, we added some teams that are pretty tough, just to kind of boost our schedule a little bit and see where we really stood with some of the better teams in the state. And so far, we have exceeded expectations. I feel like if you would have told me at this point we'd be 13-1, I think I would have taken that at the beginning of the year. And we've beaten teams that in the past we probably wouldn't have thought we had a chance to beat. But this year's group is different, and we're winning some games, which has been awesome so far.
I know one of those games early on was the St. Mary's contest, and you guys led from the beginning on. I think it's the same with Sikeston as well. You got that early lead, were able to kind of build up with it. Cardinal Ritter's another one of those teams coming up on the schedule, man. That's going to be a tough ball game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's going to be real tough, especially because it's going to be the 3rd game of the week for us. We play a really tough game at Hillsborough on Tuesday that our guys need to really be ready for, because that'll be a tough win going up to their place and winning. And then we got a tough game against St. John on Friday, and then turn around and play 3 o'clock against Cardinal Ritter on Saturday. So it's going to be a long week for us next week as well.
I'm sure people have asked you about this already with the great start that this year's team has gotten off to. Of course, the last time Farmington boys basketball went to Final Four, you were kind of a big part of that with you and your dad. What are the comparisons? And we're not going to say, hey, this squad's going to do just as well as that team did back then. But what are some similarities? What are some comparisons you see from that squad to this squad right now?
That's kind of hard to answer. It feels like our style of play and what we have is kind of drastically different than what it was when we played. Our pace of the game and how we defended is a little bit different than what we do this year. So, similarity-wise, we have several seniors or upperclassmen that have played a lot of minutes that just a lot of experience on the floor, and that's what really helped us. Looking back at the Sikeston game, I feel like our experience, we have 4 guys that start for us, 4 guys that start for us that have played 3 years of varsity basketball, significant minutes, and things like that really help facing any team that we play. They're not intimidated by anyone because they've seen everything so far in their basketball career, and so now we're able to feel confident and feel comfortable against teams that would normally make us uncomfortable. And I think that would be the number one thing back to the team that I played on, is there's just a lot of experience and a lot of guys that have played a lot of basketball, which is really nice to have.
How would Logan Shofford and Garrett Callahan do one-on-one?
He would probably beat me pretty good. Over the years, he was, as a sophomore, I like to say I'd probably be better than he was, but no, as of now, he's really good. So these guys are probably way better than I ever was, so it's nice coaching them.
Wow, I'm sure everybody's going to be passing that around, the whole team. Listen to what Coach said about us. What's it been like having your dad on the bench this year?
Oh, it's been awesome. He's one of the smartest basketball people we know, and it's just having someone like that that has won a Coach of the Year in the state of Missouri. He's on your bench helping you out. Has been great. Just talking basketball with him and figuring out game plans. But at the same time, we have a lot of coaches that are great on the staff as well. And at the end of the day, sometimes it just feels like the players are the ones that end up making getting us the wins. We feel like we put them in the right situations and put them in the places to succeed. But the kids get pretty much all the credit. It seems like they are the ones that are working hard each day and listening to us and buying into what we have. And they're the ones going out and performing. But we have a lot of great coaches on the staff that's great to hear from day in and day out, and just figure out what is maybe best for us and figure out who needs to play and how we need to attack things. It's been fun.
And it's always the most fun when you're winning.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. Yeah, it's not as fun when you're losing a lot of games, but and that's the other thing. Several of the guys that we have been through that. A lot of the guys that play a lot of minutes for us went through a season of losing a lot of basketball games, and so they've now transitioned to this. It's been a nice growth to see from those guys.
Absolutely. You asked me if I had notes before, but I didn't mute my phone before, so that one came back to bite us there. We mentioned the tough week that you have coming up. After that, I know there's another rematch with Potosi looming, maybe even another one after that in the conference tournament.
Yeah.
The way things are setting up, that Potosi squad's pretty good this year too, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be really hard. If we end up playing them 4 times, beating them 4 times is going to be really hard. Beating a really good team 3 times in one season is hard enough, and so we got to be really ready to play every time we play them. We're going to be going to their place this time, so it's going to be a really hard win for us. And I know they got a pretty big win tonight over St. John, so yeah, they're really good. They're going to win a lot of games this year and have a possible Final Four run in them. So they're one of the top teams in the state in Class 4, and there's a reason for that.
Looking to the Class 5 district now, what do you anticipate about that? Does the wins over Sikeston and Cape, does that pretty much cement the number 1 seed for you guys?
I think it depends. We still have Festus and Hillsboro. Going up to Hillsboro this Tuesday, if we lose that one, then I don't know what would happen with the seeding, and they're really good. So they can beat us if we're not ready to play. And then same with Festus. Festus coming down here, we got to be ready to play in order to get a win there. So that's what we're worrying about now. Trying to worry about Tuesday with Hillsboro. If we can win those games, then hopefully we can get the 1 seed. But even with the 1 seed or 2, it does in our district. It's so good. The top teams in our district they're one of the top. Seems like the top teams in the state. So just getting to a final in that district is going to be a real challenge, and possibly winning is going to be even harder. So it's going to be a tough task when we get there. We'll just take it game by game, and hopefully good things happen near the end.
Do you know where that's going to be played yet?
It's here.
It'll be here at
we'll
Farmington,
have it at
so
Farmington,
that'll be very advantageous to the squad this year.
Yeah, that helps.
Very good. Anything else going on this season that you've really enjoyed? Anything kind of maybe you haven't talked about in interviews that's kind of neat or special about this group or anything like that?
That's a tough question.
I know, right? I come with the tough questions here on the Parkland Podcast.
We had a lot of guys returning, so we knew we were going to be pretty good. Early on in the season, I feel like our practices were real good. We were pushing each other, and then we had a lot of injuries. It took a long time. I think it was this past week over some snow days that we had our first practice with all 15 guys that we would practice with on a given day for the first time all season. And through a lot of adversity, we have kids fight through things. We have other kids step up when some get hurt. But it's just been real nice spending time with these guys every single day where we're working really hard and early on. We see some wins happening, but these guys aren't getting complacent. They can be goofballs. They can really push each other's nerves sometimes, but they're fun. They're fun to be around. They're funny, and they're just really enjoying their time right now. With the wins that we're having, but when we step on the floor to play games, you see a sense of determination and a sense of just they understand what's at stake every single time we step out there. So it's nice to have the goofy side of them and just hang out with them and enjoy life with them. And it's also awesome to see their work ethic that they've had over the past several years come into the season and find a lot of success.
Well, I hope the success continues for you. I appreciate your time tonight, man.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. Garrett Callahan, head coach of the Farmington Knights, joining us here on the Parkland Podcast.